Blessed love to one and all. We definitely give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie I. It's a real celebration mood today because it's a moment of celebration even as we speak. For those who may not know, today being the 26th day of January, it is, represent that wonderful day in 1887, interestingly, the same year of the birth of the mighty prophet Marcus Messiah Garvey, when we destroyed the Italians there in Ethiopia. And you may be saying, huh, destroy the Italians. When you said 1887, no, that's not the Battle of Adowa. I never said the Battle of Adowa. I'm talking about the Battle of Dogali. Oh yeah, this is definitely a piece of history that is not mentioned a lot. You could imagine. I mean, even anything that has to do with Ethiopia in our history is not mentioned a lot. Even in Ethiopian history, and even as it relates to those of us who are conscious, we're not even familiar with the Battle of Dogali. And the Battle of Dogali is a very key battle because, as you said, I'm sure many of you did, the Battle of Adowa. And many of us consider that the Battle of Adowa was the mainstay when the Italians came in crispy and those evil ones came in to take to take the ancient independent country of Ethiopia, and Menelik II and Ras Mokennen crushed them. And of course, we know, of course, in 1934-35, when Mussolini and his people came in to take over Ethiopia again. And it was the shrewd wisdom of Emperor Haile Selassie I that could have counteracted the military might of Europe in that day. But even before all of that, in 1887, and we're talking about General Ras Alula, and of course his team that came upon the Italian army and ripped them down and tore them up at Dogali in 1887. And interestingly, the history, the history says that the battle took a couple hours. And you may say, wow, just a couple hours to destroy 500 men? And yes, it's about 516 or so soldiers that they had there. And according to the history, only 8 Italian soldiers were left alive and they were severely wounded. But I could remember, there was this documentary we once had on the Battle of Adowa years ago, years ago. Even my honorable princess can remember the documentary, and she was a little baby. And in that documentary, some of the elders, the warriors, similar to what you see here, were speaking. Ethiopians, man, were speaking of the whole aspect of the battle of Dogali. And according to them, the battle took about 5 minutes. Now I know it may sound extraordinary to some, like, come on, which battle is gonna take 5 minutes? But that's what they said. But when you study the history, like even what you have here, it speaks about the battle taking about a few hours, really. But anyway, it's a very deep battle, strategically, and on the shock of the hour, which will be tomorrow evening, Monday evening, the 27th, because as you know, the shock of the hour is aired every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. For those who do not know, the shock of the hour is our nightly radio broadcast program, our nightly program. It is a recorded program as well, and it is a program that we send to all of our subscribers, those who are subscribers to the radio program, The Shock of the Hour. It is sent through the email each and every evening, and you get it at least by the morning in your inbox, and you could save it to your own archives. The Shock of the Hour, I mean, it's the Shock of the Hour. As I said, this specific topic here, the Battle of Dogali, we will be going into it in more depths tomorrow evening on the Shock of the Hour. I think by now you know what to do. You just contact me via the email, Priest Isaac, Priest, at gmail.com, Priest at gmail.com. And of course, you definitely get all the information as it relates to the Shock of the Hour. Remember, you have a monthly subscription. You also have a 6 month subscription, and you could also get a yearly subscription, you know, right there on the Shop of the Hour. And of course, obviously, you would be saving the more the subscription is. But I just wanted to highlight before we go, if you notice from this little documentation here taken from the internet from Wikipedia, you will notice that it's speaking about the Battle of Dogali, 1887. Now, this is the time when Marcus Messiah Garvey was born. The Emperor of Ethiopia was born just a few years after this. And at this time, it is showing you, you can see the Italian flag and the Italian flag of Christophorus, which is the general of Italy at the time. And look at the flag of Ethiopia. Now, we have done programs on this, I must say, and those of you who stay close, you know that we have already broken down the whole aspect of the Ethiopian flag when we did the program. It's on YouTube, you could check it out. Why do some Rastas carry their red up and some carry their red down? But anyway, that's not what I'm discussing here. I'm just showing you now clearly that the Ethiopian flag, just a few days ago, the red was up. This is the flag with Ras Alula. This is his flag, and this is the Ethiopian flag when they went into battle. This is before even Menelik II rose the standard of the Lion of Judah. This is under the time, this is under the stewardship and the rulership, I should say, of Emperor Johannes IV, you know, Emperor John IV. This is exactly where we are here at this time. So the Battle of Dogali, yeah, man, give thanks for such, you know, in 1887, when we defeated the British, only 8 of their soldiers were left alive. What a massacre, similar to that of the Battle of Adowa. And you cannot forget our strength and resistance during the time of the Italian-Ethiopian War in the 1930s. So it's even more than many of us even thought. How many times they tried to take over Ethiopia, and we just resisted them over and over again. You know what I mean? That is why Ethiopia had stayed even from that time to this time as the only African country that has not gone under the colonial grip. So yeah, tune into the Shock of the Hour next evening. And remember, of course, you could definitely just contact us to be a subscriber. If definitely where you are, it is not something you could get, precise27@gmail.com. Give thanks for your presence, life giver and the keeper of life. Holy Emmanuel I, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Blessed.